Drugs are down 96.2% coming into the United States. 92.6 by sea. And soon we'll be starting the same program on land. The land is much easier. But every one of those boats that we knocked out saved 25,000 lives. So we saved 25,000 lives every time we knock out one of those boats with the drugs pouring in. And you just have to see it. I mean, people say, oh, gee, do you think it was really drugs? Well, just take a look. Bags all over the place. That's not fishing equipment. There's no fishing rods on those boats. They move fast. When you see a boat with 4 engines or 5 engines on, going 40, 50 miles an hour, well, they get hit. We save 25,000 lives every single time we knock out a boat. And it's over 96% stopped by sea. We're trying to figure out who the other 4% are, frankly. And we're going to have the same success, but even quicker, because it's much easier on land. If they want to come by land, they're going to end up having a big problem. They're going to get blown to pieces, because we don't want our people poisoned. 300,000 people died, probably last year 300,000. A lot of people say it was 200. Somebody said last night, it was only 175,000 people. That's like 3 stadiums, big football stadiums filled up with people died. But I think the real number is 300,000. We're not going to have that anymore. So we're doing a great job, and we enjoy doing it.
Well, Mr. President, you're exactly right. There are no fishing poles, no fishermen, and no fishing boats, just drug dealers and narco-terrorists. And with every strike, we're saving American lives. No other president was willing to do real deterrence. That's exactly what's happening.
So I just came from this classified briefing, the first that I have received, that the full Senate has received, on the military strikes in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. Well, I obviously can't tell you any classified information I learned. I can tell you this, that the administration had no legal justification for these strikes and had no national security justification for these strikes. Let me just get to the question of the national security justification. What they did admit is that there's no fentanyl coming to the United States from Venezuela. Venezuela is mainly exporting cocaine, but almost all of the cocaine that is coming out of Venezuela into the Caribbean isn't going to the United States, it's going to Europe. And so we are spending billions of your taxpayer dollars to wage a war in the Caribbean to stop cocaine from going from Venezuela to Europe. That is a massive waste of national security resources and of your taxpayer dollars. What we also learned is that there's no legal justification for what is happening right now in the Caribbean and in the Eastern Pacific. The president, in this briefing, his Secretary of Defense and Secretary of State, said that the justification legally is that these cartels are designated by the president as terrorist organizations. Okay, the president does have the ability to designate certain groups as terrorist organizations, but that does not give him the ability or the authorization to carry out military strikes. A designated terrorist organization allows the president to impose sanctions on those organizations and those individuals, or deny passports to the leaders of those organizations. Only Congress, only the American public can authorize war, and there is just no question that these are acts of war that the U.S. military is undertaking. So that's the bottom line, is that this briefing, which by the way was only about 45 minutes long, the shortest classified briefing that I have ever been a part of, they scurried out of there before they could actually get asked any tough questions. The bottom line is that this briefing made it clear that there is no legal justification for what is happening in the Caribbean, and there is absolutely no national security justification.
Mr. President, Julio Rosas with Most Peaceful Media. You just referenced the lower amount of illegal drugs that are coming by sea, and you just said that you're going to start that same program on land soon. Are you just referring to Venezuela, or are you referring to other countries in Latin America?
Anywhere drugs are pouring in, anywhere, not just Venezuela. No. Yeah, go ahead, please.
So in response to the United States taking sanctioned oil from Venezuela, Colombian President Gustavo Petro criticized the United States by saying, well, the Southwest is stolen land and that it should be returned to Latin America. I just wanted to know what your response to that
Well,
is.
he has to watch because, he's got drug factories. They make cocaine in Colombia. And he's no friend of the United States. He's very bad guy. And he's got to watch his ass because he makes cocaine and they send it into the United States of America from Colombia. We love the Colombian people. I love the Colombian people. They're great people, energetic, smart, great. But their new leader is a troublemaker, and he better watch it. You better close up those cocaine factories. They have at least 3 major cocaine factories. We know where they are. He better close them up fast, yeah. By the way, it's made and sold into the United States. Comes through Mexico.